To me, not only is this a slap in the face to Shedeur Sanders, but it is an utter disgrace. There's no excuse for this. None. Look at this comment. I'm just scrolling through it. Somebody said this situation needs to be investigated, and that got over 5,000 likes, so obviously people agree with it. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, hope all of you having a great day. Hope all of you having a great week. If not, hope this video can make it a little bit better. And man, oh man, here we are again. Feels like deja vu. We're talking about Shedeur Sanders and the Cleveland Browns. Ironically enough, you can't make this stuff up. The last time we talked about Shedeur and the Browns in the most recent video, I said I do not expect to be talking about this situation again anytime soon, but we have a new and big update. And by the way, what's up with the comments on that video? White Diddy is back with another midnight release. Matt Free Baldstein. What are we doing? So now I'm White Diddy. That's crazy. Matt be glazing that secret Sanders sauce. My brother in Christ, why did you put these emojis? Let's just give this guy a strike. And also strike for this guy, Daniel. Matt be gay. Not my name. Not my name. Could somebody please explain to me why I make a serious football video? We're talking about the Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur situation, and the comments look like this. We're not even talking about sports. Whatever, I digress. You aren't going to get me too upset. We got to lock in, and we got to get down to business. Where we last left off with the situation at hand, and Shedeur Sanders was sitting out of practice due to quote-unquote shoulder soreness. Some people thought the Browns were just saying that because they don't want him in the race. Others believed it. I'm not going to divulge into that too much. We already talked about it. And Mr. Dylan Gabriel, the other draft pick who was taken higher than Shedeur Sanders, has been performing awful in practice. And one major thing I harped on in the most recent video is I'm not saying Shedeur Sanders should be your day one starter. If you want to win a game tomorrow, you go with Joe Flacco due to the veteran leadership and experience alone. But when this depth chart gets released, I better not see Dylan freaking Gabriel over Shedeur Sanders. There's no reason for it. None. I could sit up here for the next 10 minutes and explain to you why Shedeur should be ahead of Gabriel on the depth chart, but if you've been keeping up with this quarterback race, you know it's not even a real debate. From start to finish, every single day, Sanders has outperformed Gabriel. It's as simple as that. But would you take a look at this, my friends? The Browns have released their depth chart, and it is laughable, to say the least. To me, not only is this a slap in the face to Shedeur Sanders, but it is an utter disgrace. There's no excuse for this. None. Or I guess a better way of saying it is there's no explanation. Can somebody please explain to me why Dylan freaking Gabriel, with all due respect, he's a great guy, but he's just not that good of a quarterback, is ahead of Shedeur on the depth chart? And I'm going to ask you guys a question, although another answer to it, so it's a rhetorical question. What could have Shedeur done better in training camp? Nothing. Outstanding completion percentage, around 70%. I believe he had 6-7 touchdown passes, something around that area. And 0 interceptions. Oh, wait a minute. Somebody put it in the replies right here. Here it is. Flacco. Makes sense. 54.92 completion percentage. 58.7. 3 touchdowns, 0 INTs. Sanders. 49 for 70. 70% completion percentage. That is phenomenal, especially in the NFL. 6 tutties, so that's the most out of all guys. 0 interceptions. Taking care of the ball. Gabriel. Not good, not even to a slide. 62 for 113. Barely completing above 50% of his passes. 4 touchdowns, 2 INTs, and then you got Pickett, but we all know Pickett's trash. Look at this comment. I'm just scrolling through it. Somebody said this situation needs to be investigated, and that got over 5,000 likes, so obviously people agree with it. And here's my thing, right? Although Pickett's trash, I know how I feel about him. I'm not even upset with Shedeur being behind Kenny Pickett, although that's a different conversation. Maybe we talk about that in just a second. I'm more upset with, that's a better way of saying it, Dylan Gabriel being ranked ahead of him. Because at least if you're a Pickett fan, you can argue to me and say, well, Matt, he's been in the league. He may know the playbook better. He's understand the offense quicker because of, just experience. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with Pickett being ahead of Sanders, although I don't think he's better than him. That is normal protocol. Guys that have been in the league, they're going to get the upper hand. For example, I think Jackson Dart is QB3 for the New York Giants, and QB1 is obviously Russell Wilson, and QB2 is Jameis Winston. And I'm not saying that Dart is better than Jameis Winston, but you see it all the time. The older guys that have been in the league for a while, they're always going to get the upper hand, at least early on when it comes to the depth chart. But with Dylan Gabriel, you do not have that argument. They are in the same class. And Sanders, it's not even like he's just barely outperformed him. He has massively outperformed him. It's not close. I've shown you the numbers. I have crazy hot takes, opinions, yada, yada, yada. So do you watching this video. That's why this community gets along so great, because if everyone thought the same, it wouldn't be much of a community, much of a channel. But there's one thing that doesn't lie. Men lie, women lie, but guess what? Numbers, they never lie. You can hate Shedeur Sanders, you can love them. It doesn't matter. The numbers are the numbers. They are the truth. You can't escape them. They're set in stone. There's just no forging that. And this isn't even the end. We're just getting started. There's more we got to talk about, but let me address the Kenny Pickett thing before we go any farther and before I forget. I've been hearing rumors about the Browns are trying to trade Kenny Pickett for months now, so this one does make sense. They're trying to act like they really want him just to use that as leverage. I can't dumb it down any more than that. I'm not going to divulge into that too much. Y'all know how I feel about him. I've said it in every single video you watch. He's not good. We'll leave it at that. Now here's where things get interested. Also, right after this depth chart got released, it was being reported that the Browns are signing another quarterback. Let me repeat that. And your eyes aren't deceiving you. I'm going to show you the report. The Browns were trying to sign another quarterback. Tyler Huntley. I know what you're sitting here saying and wondering, because I was thinking the same thing. Heck, I'm still thinking it. Wait a minute. You already got too many quarterbacks on the roster. You got 4. You're probably going to have to either A, trade one of those guys, or B, send him to the practice squad or whatever. And then to go on top of that, you got Deshaun Watson coming back. So you really got 5 on the roster. So the Browns quarterback room, this is no joke, consists of Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, Dylan Gabriel, Shedeur Sanders, Deshaun Watson, you got to gather your breath for all this, and Tyler Huntley. Are we serious, my brother? What are we doing? And I know some people are going to say, well, man, they got to get another quarterback for preseason because apparently maybe Dylan Gabriel and Pickett, they're not going to be playing, yada, yada, yada. But for real, what are we doing? I'm going to keep asking it. You can't convince me otherwise. I don't care if the Brownies win the Super Bowl this year. Not going to happen. They're a joke. They prove it every other week. This is the stupidest thing I've ever seen. And I already know you're going to have some bozo in the comment section talk about, well, man, they're not going to keep Huntley for a season. It's just to have another body for the preseason games because, like I already said, Pickett, Gabriel, they're nursing some injuries, and Sanders was out for that one day. Buddy, no, they're not. Gabriel and Pickett practiced yesterday. They didn't tear an ACL or something like that. They are going to be fine for the preseason. Are they going to play in the preseason? Not too sure, but they're going to be fine. And my point is with all of this, I'm thinking it, you're thinking it, I'm just going to come out and say it. They don't need, this is the least of their worries. Another quarterback. Why did Shedeur fall as far as he did? Because teams and the GMs, owners, I'm not going to get into it too much, but they wanted to avoid the primetime Deion Sanders and entire Sanders family drama, right? Well, now this creates more of it because we're already talking about the situation where many people think it's unfair. Sanders, he's not even getting a legit shot. Well, now you're throwing Tyler Huntley into the mix. If you think people are pissed off now with Gabriel being ranked ahead of Sanders on the depth chart, just wait till they put Tyler Huntley over him or something like that. I hate to toot my own horn, but if you've been watching the channel, you should have known this. I told you weeks ago, I told you when he got drafted, he doesn't even have a shot in the dark to not even just win, but compete for that starting spot because the Browns won't allow it. And I got some backlash for that. People were saying, well, come on, Matt. Sounds like you're hating on Shedeur. You don't think he's good enough? No. It has nothing to do with how good he is. I knew the organization wasn't going to give him a shot. It didn't matter if he went out here in training camp and went 99 for 100, 15 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions. Still going to be listed as QB3, QB4. That is why I said months ago he doesn't have a chance to start for the Browns. Nothing to do with him. Just let me clarify again. Can't emphasize this enough. It's everything to do with the Browns. I'm not going to sit up here and say the league is trying to blackball him, but they are definitely trying to send a message to him and Coach Prime. They're trying to tell that entire family, look, you're not running the show here like you did at Colorado and Jackson State. We're calling the shots. It's not racism, and I hate when people say that argument. You sound stupid. But it is bigger than football, if that makes sense. I don't see how anyone else could say otherwise. I said it earlier. I'm going to say it again. There's not a reasonable explanation for Gabriel being ranked ahead of Shedeur on the depth chart. I had a couple people send me this video clip. I haven't seen it. I'm going to give you my live reaction. A reporter asked Shedeur Sanders what we can expect from him in a game setting, and this was his response. Have you watched me in college? I'm still the same guy. Matt wrote a clip. Let's check it out.
Yours, do you think can show up in a game setting that maybe we don't see as much in practice?
Have you watched me in college?
Yeah.
Well, you know, a little bit of that going on. I'm still the same guy, you know. Nothing happened to me. I'm the same guy. If anything, I'm a little bit stronger. Emotionally, and the way how I handle different situations.
Of course, that's probably going to rub some people the wrong way. I'm not even going to check the comment section because I already know what people are saying. For me, nah, I just understand Shedeur. That's how he is. He's a very confident guy. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. To be a professional athlete, you got to be extremely confident in your abilities. Last thing I'm going to say before we end out the video, this has been the most intrigued I've ever been by an NFL quarterback room my entire life. Of course, a main reason is because of Shedeur, but also I just want to see how all this unfolds outside of Shedeur. What are they going to do with Pickett? What are they going to do with Gabriel? What are they going to do when Deshaun Watson comes back? There's a lot of what ifs, and I can't wait to see how all of it unfolds. I'm curious. Let me know your thoughts on this down below. But